just blanked out. 12 or 13? I don't remember. I think it's 13, but it might be 12. I really should go back and look. But hello and welcome everyone to tuning in to the Modern Skein podcast. My name is Sharon Graff and I'm owner of the Modern Skein, which is a yarn shop here in Montgomery, Texas. And I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of our subscribers and listeners and viewers out there. We have reached over 100 subscribers because of you guys. So thank you so very, very much. I am so honored and blessed to have you guys think that I guess you like what I share every time enough to subscribe. And so I really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you and really hope that you'll stay around and keep watching the podcast. So I did mention, I think last time, that I would do a little giveaway for our reaching 100 subscribers. And so what I've decided to do is the subscriber that was 100, she did leave a comment on there. I believe her name was Dina or Diane, something like that. Anyway, you commented. I already liked and commented on yours, but I'm going to reach out to you again and let you know that you have won a skein of our custom colorway from Yarn Carnival. So I'll DM you or comment and ask you for your address so I can ship this out to you. And thank you so much for being our 100th subscriber. As we do grow in subscriberships, I do plan on hosting more giveaways and prizes. So stay tuned. Be sure and share this podcast with your friends if you think they'd be interested in it. And subscribe, comment, like, all that stuff. It's awesome. So down to business. It's been a long time since I've podcasted. It seems like I skipped last week because we were out of town in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and we had a blast visiting with some really close friends of ours and hanging out. I knit. We went and saw sights. We saw Garden of the Gods. We went to Seven Falls Waterfall. We ate tons of good food. Just really had a blast. Good conversations, good time with friends. It was a really good trip. Very refreshing for both me and Josh. And so I did knit quite a bit, but at the same time I didn't get a lot of knitting done. I really focused on 2 projects, and I'll show those. I focused on 2 projects because I only took 2 projects because I knew I'd want to spend time really chatting with people and seeing the sights and all that kind of stuff, and not necessarily be a knit all the things trip. We of course went to a knitting shop, which was amazing. We went to Yarn and Me, a yarn boutique in Colorado Springs. It's on Avenue Garden of the Gods, and it was an awesome little shop. And not really little, it was a very big shop. Quite possibly the largest yarn shop I've ever personally been in. I know there are shops that are larger, but I'm pretty sure this was possibly the largest shop I had been in. It was very open, high ceilings, which always makes a space feel larger. And they had this massive sit and stitch table. I mean, it had to have held like 20 to 25 chairs. It was huge. But anyway, I was able to pick up some local yarn, which was awesome. I didn't bring it here with me this morning. I was too busy running out of the house, but I picked up 3 skeins, one from a local dyer, which was really awesome, and that was local to Colorado Springs, not just Colorado. Then a local, also to Colorado Springs area in the vicinity, a local sheep farm that raises Icelandic sheep, and so it's an Icelandic Letlopi style yarn, but born and raised in Iceland. No, born and raised in Colorado Springs, and it was also blended. So it was the Icelandic sheep, and I think like 85% and 15% alpaca, I believe, is the blend on it, and it's a natural undyed. So it's this really pretty kind of smoky gray color, very nice. And then I picked up a skein of something really unique that kind of makes me think of Colorado, is a 100% hemp fiber yarn. It reminds me really much a lot like a flax yarn or 100% unprocessed linen. So it's very, I'll say, crunchy feeling, but it was really neat, and it's kind of in this really soft kind of smoky green color. So I'm not quite sure what I will do with that, but I'm almost thinking I want to crochet like a little, not a pot holder, but you know, the little things you put around like a potted plant. I almost kind of think like it's from a plant and I want to make something you stick another plant in. I have a really cute, I think it's a snake's plant or something like that in our bathroom, and the pot's not the prettiest. And so I was thinking maybe do a little cover for that. So anyway, that's what I got. And I got some pins, a local for my knitter's backpack, a Colorado flag pin, and then a Yarn Snob pin, and a work in progress pin. So that was really fun. Let's see. So I do have one finished object to show you. It has been finished for over a month now, but it was a test knit and that I couldn't show you, and I could have shown it to you last week. I'm pretty sure, or not last week, but the week before, pretty sure I forgot to, with the stress of having to refilm the entire podcast, which fingers crossed I don't have to do that this time. I really don't have the time for it today. Got so many things to do today. So I wanted to show you this finished object. So this is the Still Pretty shawl by Lavanya Petrosella. And so it's a really unique shape. I'll try and get it on here. It's almost like a stingray shape. So you have, this is the top where you start, and it's considered like the flat-ish part. And then you come down and you increase, and then this is the bottom of the shawl, which also creates kind of this point. It's really cool. And so you can see it's really big. And this is brioche, and it's kind of, it's not really a brioche lace, but it's just this really unique way of increasing and decreasing to create this lace-like texture. It's beautiful. And so I knit this. The color's not really coming up very well. No, color is horrible. So it looks almost like limey green and a weird gray on camera. It's actually this rich mustard color and a rich deep mid-tone gray. And these are both from Josh's Red Stag Fiber. This is Gilded, which is the mustard yellow, and Cobblestone, which is the gray. He offers the Gilded on the MCN, which is the merino fingering with cashmere. And Cobblestone is on BFL fingering and Estate fingering, which is just the plain merino fingering. So this is part cashmere, part MCN, and the yellow. The yellow is Gilded, which is MCN, and the gray, which this is the back. I mean, it is reversible because brioche is reversible, but the gray is merino fingering. So this is it. This is a really fun shawl. You know what actually it reminds me of shape-wise? Yes, it's kind of stingray, but it also is like those, you really never hear about them on the news anymore, but like in the 90s it was the thing, those stealth bombers. I know, random thing, but it kind of has that same shape as those stealth bombers, I think anyway. But it is a fun knit, and if you are familiar with brioche and you've maybe done a brioche project or two, it's not too difficult because you're just using brioche increases and decreases, which are the standard brioche increase and decrease that you'd find in just about any pattern. There's nothing, I'll say, super complicated about the brioche techniques or anything. So like I said, if you're familiar with brioche and have done a brioche project or two, maybe done increases and decreases before, this would be an easy one for you to do. so that's my only finished object to share with you today. It's Two Punch Tuesdays at Trixie's. Why am I saying So grab you a Trixie's. There's always great coffee. And she has really good tea as well, if you're not a coffee drinker. Okay, so let's start. Well, you just saw this, so let's start here. So when we went to Colorado Springs, I always like to cast on a new project when we go on a trip. So I cast on for the Kyler shawl, which I've been telling you I was going to cast on for several podcasts. And I'm casting on, or I'm doing the shawl in Red Stag Fiber. This is the colorway Passport on the Merino fingering. And let me just show you what I have so far. So this will block out a lot better. But you really already can see really nice stitch definition. Sorry, it's blowing out like crazy, so the color is not very accurate. But you can kind of see it's basically like a diamond or like a chevron lace. Here, you can actually, this is better representation of the color, which is like almost black, but not. Like in person, you can really tell this is not black. It's just this really pretty brown undertone maroon. Not a purple undertone at all. It's a brown undertone maroon. And I love it. So basically the Kyler shawl is this. And then when you get to a certain point, then you have like, you continue the lace up part of it and you do stockinette on the other side. So it's going to be a really pretty triangular shape. So I got this much done. The lace pattern is super easy. The repeatable section is very memorable, so it's easy to kind of memorize and read your work. And the last probably 10 or 15 rows I didn't even use the pattern. I will need to, since I haven't actually worked on it for probably a week now, well, no, not a week. When did we get back? We only got back on Friday. I feel like we've been back for a month. Anyway, I'll have to look at the pattern to refresh. I haven't worked on it since we got home, which is why I don't have more progress made on it. When we got home, I started working again on my Vertices Unite, which I also worked on while we were gone. But I'm getting really close to getting it finished, and so kind of cranking out on that, and also cranking out on my Sunset Highway to get it finished. I'm going to actually show you the Sunset Highway first because it's kind of in the way of getting my Vertices Unite. I was going to say something else, and about the Kyler shawl. Nope. Don't know. Let's see. I think it was just that we were really busy when we got home, so I didn't get a ton of knitting done when we got home. We decided yesterday on Labor Day to clean out our garage and our closets and every spare room in the house and just purge and get rid of a lot of stuff that we don't use. And it's been crazy busy, but it's been so good to get rid of excess stuff. It's crazy how much you can accumulate. Of course, yarn did not get touched. Okay. No purging of the yarn. I take that back. I did find some skeins I'm going to give to Josh's grandma. But other than that, we don't purge yarn. Because unless you know you're not going to use it. But anyway, back to knitting. It is a knitting podcast after all. You don't care that I cleaned out my house. So, Sunset Highway. I have finished now both sleeves. I have not steam blocked these sleeves yet, so they look awful. But I'm just going to wait until I finish the whole thing and then wet block it. So I have done now probably my guesstimate about 6 inches, I guess, from the armpit down. Maybe more, but I usually overestimate. And I believe it needs to go to 15 inches. So I do like a long sweater, so I probably will do the full 15 inches, so I can wear with leggings and stuff like that. Some people who like a more shorter one, obviously just since it's straight down, there's no decreases, just end it where you want to. But I will try it on before I bind off and make sure, especially if it's like, oh, I think this is really reaching the length I want. I'll try it on, make sure it's where I want it or close to where I want it, because it will grow a little bit as I block it, of course, and then go from there. But I have made quite a bit of progress, so I'm hoping that by next podcast I will have this finished and ready for you to see the finished object. Yay! This is such a cute sweater. I really like the pattern. The color work has been amazing, and I think it's a really great sweater for those people who want to do color work, or maybe want to do a sweater and have never done a sweater, but you've done color work before. Excuse me. It's a great, well written, easy to follow pattern. So that's my Sunset Highway. Now, that's connected. My Vertices Unite. It is getting, I don't want to touch the microphone and mess it up. Green light? Yeah, we still got a green light. Good. It is huge. I just finished last night section 4, and I haven't put it on waste yarn yet, so it's still on the needle. But there's only 5 and 6 left, so I am really making good progress. So it does end up taking on a traditional kind of triangular, or I'll say very elongated triangular shaped shawl. So, let me find where I am here. And so I'm doing mine all in one color, of course. So, this is one tip going across, and you can see down here, this kind of creates the point. I'm thinking the point is like down here. I don't even know if you can see this. Now is when I'm like, really? I had to make the size large? It is a West Knits after all, so this is a giant thing. But this is going to be so cozy to wrap up in. Oh, and I love this color. So this is Dream in Color Smushy. It's probably not going to show up very well here at all. But in person, this is a taupe with kind of a burgundy undertone taupe as well for the base. So it kind of goes back and forth between regular taupe and then this kind of purpley burgundy undertone taupe with speckles of mustard, deep burgundy, and deep dark teal. So I am doing my Vertices Unite rather than doing 6 colors. I am doing it all in the same color, which this is Smushy. That's the base name. The colorway is called Guthrie's Peak. I am out of, I think I only have like one skein left right now in the store, but I am getting, let's see, I placed the order, so probably end of September to first week of October, I should be getting quite a bit more of the Guthrie's Peak, as well as other colors of Smushy and Smushy with Cashmere in stock. But you can see just with the one color, you can still definitely see the different sections because the yarn itself has, I mean, you can kind of see here, maybe, like this outer bit, it seems darker than the inner bit, and there's variance. It gets a hand-dyed yarn, so there's variances between skeins, so it has really played so nicely in this shawl. And this shawl has really been fun to knit. It is basically garter stitch. But because of the really cool construction, and you're always either increasing or you're decreasing or you're grafting two things together, there's no traditional seaming of any pieces. You either work them, you just basically work it all together. You pick up stitches or you attach it from the sides as you go. So there's no finishing seaming at all, which is really great. And then you have like, waste yarn that you fed through. And so this will be like for the I-cord bind off and things like that. So I'm just really excited that I only have 2 sections left. Some sort of shape fills in this funky thing and creates a long thing here. But 2 sections left and I'll be done. And this will probably be my, whoops, don't want to mess up the microphone. Sorry, my needles are smacking the microphone. Hopefully that didn't bust out your eardrums. This is going to be my go-to fall scarf this year, just because the colors are so amazing. And it's going to be, we have quite a few airplane trips coming up. We've got to go in a couple weeks to one of my dear, dear friends' weddings, and it will be ready by then. So I'm going to take that as my airplane wrap, because we're going to upstate New York and it will probably be chilly. Hopefully it'll be chilly. And it will actually go with my dress that I'm wearing to the wedding too. So that's a plus. Because the dress I'm wearing is kind of a mustard and navy, and I think it'll work. Anyway, you don't care about my dress. This is not a fashion thing. It's kind of fashion because it's knitting. Then I have 2 other works in progress that I've still been working on. I actually picked this one up just the other night and started working on it again. This is My Chrysalis Shawl by Lavanya Patricella. And this is in the Melted Baby Suri that we will be carrying closer to Christmas. And just a fingering weight, so not much progress to show you there. It's working up really cool. The Melted Baby Suri is really fun to work with. It's kind of like mohair, but without the fiddliness of the lace and the fineness that mohair is. It's a lot more like a sport weight, so it's easier to work with, in my opinion. And yeah, it's still not fun to pick back or try and rip out. I mean, that's because it's fuzzy. So there's that, but it's really fun to work with. And there's starting to be a lot, by the time that we get it in the shop, there will be a lot of other patterns on Ravelry using the yarn. So there's My Chrysalis, there's Seriously Holy, I believe there's 2 or 3 now West Knit patterns that uses Melted Baby Suri. My Chrysalis uses it, and there's the Ching Fiber did the little baby kimono pattern, and there's somebody else that has a pattern in it. So I think there's like 6 patterns right now on Ravelry using Melted Baby Suri, but there's more coming, I know. So that's been a fun knit. So basically I'm working that up to be a shawl sample when we get it in the shop. Grace is also working on one, the same My Chrysalis, but in totally different colors, and hers looks completely different from mine. So mine, I didn't tell you, this is Annie by Ching Fibers, so kind of this burnt orangey with black specks. And this is Smoke, which is a smoky gray with burnt orange, mustard, green, and brown specks. And this is the Melted Baby Suri, which is so fluffy. It's so fluffy. And then hers is like, I think she's using Panda for her fingering weight, and then I totally forgot what she was using. I think Rosemary, and she's fading her Baby Suri, so I think she's using Rosemary and maybe the Gelateria or Shibuya or Shibui, not Shibui, Shushui. I don't remember. Anyway, if you want to know, follow her podcast, which is the Catnip Podcast. The other project that I'm working on And I found what I think might have been a mistake in the cabling. I'm not sure though that I want to go back and pick it out because it's like way down there. And it's for Josh. I honestly don't know that he's ever going to find out about it. He doesn't watch the podcast. And I don't think he would notice that this is not perfectly as written in the pattern. So anyway, so this is a cardigan called, what is it called? Mount Auburn cardigan by Irina Anakieva. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. This was published in the Interweave Knits. Their fall, is it just the fall? Yeah, fall 2018. It is available on Ravelry now, but this is the pattern. I don't know why I just showed you that. I am knitting it in the yarn that it was originally written in, so it's not a yarn I carry. I don't really carry quite anything like it, other than I carry worsted weight yarn. And I do carry non-superwash worsted weight. But this is a very woolly, rustic wool. And this is Watershed yarn. That's not the name of it. Harrisville Designs is the brand. Watershed is the name of the wool. And it's 100% virgin wool from New Hampshire. And of course I stopped in the middle of a row, so bear with me on that. But this is the cardigan. So you work it in one piece, front and back. And you can see here the cables that are really starting to pop. This is the back panel for the cables. This is the front panel. This is the other front panel where there's the boo-boo. If you can't spot it, it's right there. But when I'm about to get to that in this row, I think. No, I just passed it. I may pick back. I really don't want to. I don't think I will. Anyway, you know, what is it? They say the Amish leave purposely a stitch just to make sure they're not perfect or something. Well, I'm certainly not perfect and don't claim to be. So, but anyway, this is a really fun sweater. I mean, I've done all over cabled sweaters before, but this has been a really fun one to do for Josh with the wool, and just I'm really enjoying it. Let's see. So the plan is to get this finished before we leave for his birthday trip, which I'm not saying what we're doing for his birthday trip because he would eventually find out, and it's a secret until we literally get to the airport. Josh always surprises me, not necessarily on my birthday, but with our honeymoon trip. Usually plans it out in secret and really makes a big surprise out of it. And so I try to do the same thing for his birthday since they're pretty far apart. Anyway, it's fun. Okay, so that is all of my works in progress. Put this back. Let me show you some things we got in, or are getting in. I say getting in. My mom whipped up some more project bags. I just have to clean up the ends and run some more tassels, finish off the drawstrings. But we have some fun fall prints. So we have these kind of Navajo inspired project totes. And this, it looks like white on here, but it's actually like metallic silver. It's really pretty and shiny. So we have this print, which will go into the shop tomorrow, which is Wednesday. And we have this really cute alpaca and cacti print. Excuse me. Plus we still have a few of the original cream and navy. The two new prints all have both an inside pocket and an outside pocket, so they are $55. The ones that we have without any pocket on the inside or outside, I think I only have two left, and that is the white and the blue two-tone, and those are $45. So those will be available, like I said, starting, whoops, runaway yarn, starting tomorrow. And they will also be available online. Then the other thing we got in this past week was the latest issue of Pom Pom magazine. That is quite the undertaking of a sweater. Not going to be casting that on, but there are some really neat, kind of, I'll say simple yet really neat projects in here, like the little hat and fingerless mitts. That'd be really pretty to work up as a gift if you do a lot of gift knitting. If you like kind of a simple ribbed sweater, that looks like a really fun one. And I really do like this one. And you hold a strand of mohair with it, which is really cool. This sweater with this nice scooped back detail. It's really nice. And then there's also this really cool kind of crescent shaped detailing shawl. That's really pretty. And then there's cowls, there's mittens. There's lots of fun stuff. So if you're interested in those, I do have a few copies. I think I have 4 or 5 copies left. So you can grab that when you come in this week or place an online order. And gosh, I want to show you a little bit, sorry for the long dramatic pause. I want to show you a little bit that's not new, but some of the Yarn Carnival fingering weight that we have in the shop, that some of it is really great fall colors that will go great with your projects, and others are just really great really great yarns to mix and match with other things for your fall projects. If you want to do Vertices Unite, if you want to do Kyler shawl, things like that. So the brick house, that would be really pretty for a Vertices Unite or for a Kyler. Excuse me. Excuse me. Brick house. I will say, I never realized how much fuzzies you get owning a yarn shop. I go through here. I don't like dust. We literally, between Grace and I think we clean this place like 3 times a week. And we're open only 4 days a week. And we clean it 3 days of those weeks. Because from winding yarn and knitting and everything, the amount of fuzz and dust bunnies that just poof out of nowhere every day is unbelievable. And I always seem to breathe them in, which is nuts. So, Brick House by Yarn Carnival, that's one we have in stock. This also is really nice one. This is Parchment. If you know the Savvy Skeins colorway Pumpkin Spice Latte, this pairs and fades beautifully with Pumpkin Spice Latte from Savvy Skeins. This would be a gorgeous faded project with that. Just a really awesome color. Not so much a fall color, but Wales Road, when you need just that perfect mid-tone cerulean blue, it's a great option. This is Yarn Carnival Olivine. I think this would be beautiful as a Vertices Unite or for the Joji Locatelli Bark Lines shawl. Be real pretty. Of course, our custom colorway from Yarn Carnival. Great for a Vertices Unite because of the speckle and play of color. Then we have Amaranthine. Perfect for adding color to Or if you want this as like a main color for Halloween socks and then pop with some minis. If you just want a rich orchid purple amethysty colored shawl, this would be beautiful. Or sweater. This is water, which pairs actually really nicely with our custom color. And then you can bring in Wales Road for a nice little 3-color fade. And then we also have Galveston, which if you wanted to throw in something different, bring in a different color, could do these. And then I would say there's Savvy Skeins Chantilly, go on this side. That would be a real pretty 4-color. This is Dark Spark. I only have one left, but this is going to be a really fun, just little specks of purple and yellow and this lime green against this dark gray base. Really fun for kids or for socks. And then this is Damnation. So this is lipstick, cherry lipstick, basically, the color. Cherry lipstick. Very, very pretty. And then lastly, A Rose by Any Other Name. So this is like a burgundy with black variations. It's really rich, really intense, dark. This would be beautiful for a Kyler wrap, or a dark Vertices Unite would be beautiful. Bark lines, it would be great. There'd be just a lot of things you could use this for. Hold a strand of mohair and do a Hayward sweater. This would be beautiful. You'd get such play of color. It'd be awesome. Let's see. I think that's about it. As far as things that are going on in the shop, we do have a definitely, we have a very important announcement next, or I guess it's now this coming Saturday. So Saturday, September the 8th, Suburban Stitcher, Diane, is coming with a huge, and I mean huge, she is bringing in grid wall to the shop, 2 panels of it, plus the table, plus I'm sure there's going to be stacks and stacks of yarn with a huge update for the shop. You do not want to miss this. She's going to be here. We're going to open up right at 10, and the doors are going to be open. Everyone can be flooding on in because she's going to have the most amazing yarn. If you're one of our fans, you want to get here early because a lot of her people are coming and they're just going to like mow through the store. So you don't want to miss it. Get here fast, early, whatever. Carpool if you need to, but make sure you leave room for yarn. That's always important. Yeah, so she's going to be here basically all day on Saturday, and 10 to when she sells out of yarn, which would be amazing, or 5 o'clock when we close. Let's see. There's that. Then there's the Montgomery Wine Fest, I believe, or Wine and Food Fest, something like that, on the 15th. We will be open during that time, so open from 10 to 5, our normal hours. There may be some weird parking situations, but we will be open and we will have sit and stitch just like normal on Saturday. We'll have normal sit and stitch during the trunk show with Diane here as well. So if you can come and sit and stitch with Diane of the Suburban Stitcher if you'd like to as well, which would be totally awesome. Let's see. Someone's honking their horn at me. I don't know why. Probably not at me. Something else, but I feel like we have another. Oh, Forbidden Fiber Company is sending 150 skeins to do a pop-up shop in our store for the entire month of September. So we have added in, if you haven't been in the store since Saturday late afternoon, you have not seen that we added a whole nother wall of slat wall. So if you can't figure out where we added that, you'll have to come into the shop and see for yourself. Right now we have samples hanging on it, but as soon as we get in that pop-up shop from Forbidden Fiber Company, it will be going on that wall. And we will have a lot of her different bases. We'll have Gluttony Sock. We'll have Gluttony Worsted. I believe we're getting in the Sparkle Sock. and Pride, I believe, is that one. And I believe we're getting in either a DK or an MCN. I can't quite remember, but we're getting that in, and there's other yarn that should be delivered soon, maybe in this next week. So hopefully next podcast we have just the table full of yarn to show you and for you to drool over. I will put the Forbidden Fiber Company pop-up shop available online as well. It probably won't get in. It'll take a couple days to get it all posted online, but it will be available online to purchase. So if you're not local, don't fear, you will be able to do that. And if you're interested in Suburban Stitcher yarn and you're not local or not able to come in, shoot me a message. You can email us. Email's probably best, or Instagram direct message. And what we can do is let us know some colors you may be looking for, and we can send you some pictures of the yarn once she gets it here, and of the bases. I believe that she's only bringing her DK base, a sock base, and maybe that might be it. I think maybe she has one other base. Maybe it's this. I don't know. I really have no idea. So if I give you any details, they would probably be wrong. So anyway, whatever bases she has, I'll post, and then we can go buy colors, and we can help you pick out some colors that you want, and we can ship them to you. Or if you know you're going to be able to swing by the shop later that week, we can go ahead and take your card and put your stuff in a bag and put it in the back, and you can come pick it up when you are available to. Yeah, that's about it. So thanks for tuning in. Really, really, really excited to have over 100 subscribers. So thank you so much. If you're new to this podcast, please and thank you for watching. And I hope that you will subscribe if you enjoyed this. All of our details are going to scroll in the credits here shortly, but you can find us on Instagram at The Modern Skein. We are on email at themodernskein@gmail.com, and our website is themodernskein.com. You can find me personally on Instagram as well, Mrs._Sharon_Graff, Graff, if you want to watch our travels, pictures of my hubby and cooking and food, and of course more yarn as well. So we hope to see you in the shop or get a online order from you soon. We always put a handwritten note in all of our orders, so thank you so much for supporting small businesses, and we hope to see you soon. Thanks so much again. Bye-bye.